Okay, how's everybody doing? I hope everyone's staying warm. I think I just saw that there's a really nasty cold front going through the Midwest. Very, very cold, and I hope everybody's staying warm. And actually last night I wasn't feeling very well. That's why I didn't make a video last night. A little bit of a cold. Not that cold here, but still it gets kind of damp and excuse me, just was feeling a little under the weather last night. But tonight, I want to make a video, make a video tonight, because I do have two challenges I need to deal with. So I appreciate those challenges and I want to keep them coming. So if you have a challenge for me, please make me a challenge. It's very simple to do. Just go to the challenge application, which is very easy to get. You go to Google Play Store, and in Google Play, it's called the Challenge DAP. CHALLENGEDAPP. Just download it. You have to come up with a password. Once you come up with a password, we give you 20 free tokens, and you can create a challenge. If you do create me a challenge, I'm in Carlsbad, California. I usually make these videos on State Street. If you could pick out a specific location, a numeral location, excuse me, still got a cold. A location, a physical location with a number, that's what I'm trying to say, an address, so to speak, something that's very precise. That way the GPS reads it a lot easier and I can accept the challenge much easier. Give me a topic, give me a location. I'm in Carlsbad, California. I'm usually on State Street. And then give me a time, because you have to give me a time too. If you give me a time, make it a few days in advance. So if you make a video, for instance, tomorrow is the 11th. I mean, if you say, hey, I got an idea for a video on the 11th of November, make the challenge for like the 15th, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 4 or 5 days out. Because that gives me a chance to accept the challenge. And also I have to be here before the challenge starts. So I have to be right where the challenge starts. So if you say, I will make the challenge for the 14th, and it can end the 18th. So he's got anywhere between the 14th and 18th. I have to start the challenge sometime between when you create the challenge on the 14th. I can't do it on the 15th. We got to do some tweaking there, but that's the way it's working out right now. So please make it the day, a few days ahead, and make it so I get a chance to react to it. Look it up on the blockchain, and I'm able to come here and make the video for you. And do whatever you want to do. I'll be happy to answer some questions. I got some really good challenges tonight. I got 2 of them actually, and one of them is very, very good. I think I'm even going to start ranking these challenges. If you come up with a really good challenge, 2 things that I really like. Number 1 is a very intelligent challenge, of which I got a very intelligent channel. Actually, 2 intelligent challenges tonight, but one I thought was really intelligent. And then also, if it's funny. I think those are great challenges. So give me and I'll rank your challenge, tell you what I think of your challenge. I thought it was a good challenge or a bad challenge. So give me a video and I'll talk on the topic and tell you if I thought it was a good idea or not a bad idea. Or usually won't tell you a bad idea, but I'll tell you if your idea was above average, or if it's one I thought was something that was, very important, or maybe something that is a little bit more or less important. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll give you my thoughts on it. Of course, we got the train coming through here. There we go. Pretty quick tonight. So the other thing I want to talk about a little bit tonight is I did react to a video here recently. I think it was, is it All Things EOS? Everything EOS? Something like that. And I think there's the 2 guys on it. One is the guy from, that made the $1 Million Challenge. I can't remember his name now. What the heck is his name? It's Rob, I think, Rob. And there's another guy on there, his name is, I think it's Zach. Anyway, they made a video the other night, and Zach said something I thought was very good. And as far as the congestion on the network, he said this ramped up very quickly. That this was something that happened very, very fast. And I think he's correct in that this was something that's been planned as far as the congestion is concerned, as far as the stuff's concerned. This was something that was planned ahead of time, and we have too much activity for this just to be an organic situation. So I made a comment there, if you want to look at his comment on his video, about what I think is going on. But anyway, Congestion on the network is causing some difficulty, but I was thinking about this the other night, and I was thinking, in fact, I think he said in that video that Dan Larimer really hadn't said too much about this, and when he did, what he did say kind of made it sound like, hey, what do you expect? You know, things are expensive. If your car insurance goes up or your rental of your car goes up, are you going to complain? No, you're just going to have to accept it. So I think Dan kind of likes the idea that these prices are going higher. And I think when I thought about that, not that I shouldn't maybe say he likes it, but I don't think he's overly concerned about it. He probably doesn't like it either for the CPU. But when I got to thinking about it, I got to thinking that perhaps, you know, the one thing about all these different cryptocurrencies is that we're in uncharted waters. This is like nothing anybody's ever done before or seen before. And the reason I say that is because you need to have EOS in order for the EOS blockchain to operate. So in other words, you got to vote for block producers, you got to stake EOS for there to be CPU. For you to use EOS, you got to be an owner of the thing. So actually, it's a tool. Owning EOS is like a tool, which is like nothing else ever before. I don't know of any kind of, like the stock market. Owning a stock is not a tool for the company. So it's not like your ownership in that stock requires the company to run. So if I buy 100 shares of General Motors, it doesn't mean General Motors has to use my stock to operate the company, or somehow the ownership of my 100 shares of General Motors is going to affect the operations of General Motors. No, if I don't buy it, somebody else buys it. It's simply an investment that's actually independent of the operation of the company. I don't know how many people realize that, but if you own a stock, it's very independent of the trading of the stock. Trading the stock is completely independent of the stock, the company itself. And I'll give you a little more information about, as long as we're talking about stocks. If you want to play the stock market and you want to invest in stocks, you're about 50 years too late to that game. And I can tell you why. The stock traders today are so advanced, not only in the way they get the information, but in the computerized systems that they use to trade with, that there's no way independent people can just go out and make a living at stock trading. Almost impossible. There's a couple videos out there on YouTube about this. One of them, I think, is called The Billionaire. What's it called? Billionaire, the mathematician billionaire. And he made his money by setting up systems to trade. And of course, the guy's a genius, absolute genius, unbelievable IQ, one of the smartest men in the world. He saw some trends, and they were able to get some computer programs behind it. They were able to figure this out and was able to run computer programs that actually were to find slight trends. And even he said it took years for them to develop. And over the years, it wasn't a fast return, but he made a lot of money, a billionaire actually. So if you want to play that game, it's almost impossible to play that game. So if you're thinking about buying stocks, selling stocks, being a Warren Buffett, you know, that game's over with. It's been over with for a long, long time. It was over with way before I was a broker. Because right now the computerized systems are just so advanced and so ahead of the game. And of course, information is known by people, even though it's called insider trading. It exists every day. There's so much of that stuff goes on that the individual investor is just going to get killed. There's absolutely no way that that's ever going to work. There's got to be other systems. That's why I so like cryptocurrency, and I so like, because I think it's a much more honest system than the actual stock market. And you know, they're the ones that say this. They think crypto is trying to take advantage of people. The people that are getting taken advantage of, in my opinion, are the people that are playing the everyday, ordinary stock market. They're the ones that are getting taken advantage of. So I don't think that's a great idea. And as long as we're talking about that, I'll talk about my second pet peeve, and that's jobs. I think people that are thinking that there's going to get a job that's going to cure their financial problems, I think that's another long since gone idea, that you're just going to go out and find a job. I find it very interesting right now that there's two things with a job. The first one is, if you get a job, a lot of jobs don't pay very well. You're going to have a very modest living on most jobs, what they pay. If you do get lucky, you're very smart and intelligent, well-schooled, and get a job, let's say with Google, they're going to own you. And I can show you countless YouTube videos, YouTubers that have quit their job with Google to make YouTube videos, because YouTube videos actually have a life. If you work for Google, you're not going to have a life, because they're going to suck the life out of you. Maybe pay you a very good salary, but you're going to end up using your weekends, your days, your nights, everything else up. There's a lot of information about that. People that worked at Microsoft, people who work at Intel, people who work at Google, people who work at Facebook, all these companies, Amazon, how much the company expects of you if you're making a very, very good salary. So the idea of jobs has pretty much gone by the wayside too. That's another reason why I love crypto so much. So these are two reasons why I'm excited for cryptocurrencies to do well, because I think there's a future in them, a future that ordinary investing or working at jobs really doesn't do what people expect it to do, or what has been done in the past. So anyway, let's get to the first challenge. And I don't have my glasses again, so I'm just going to have to try to read this one real quickly. I had it actually last night, and the challenge was from GARP Trader 14. And I appreciate the challenge, GARP Trader 14. He actually asks me, let me see if I can read it real quickly. Video discussing valuations of EOS DApp users, network transaction speed relative to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Hope I kept that straight. As far as the video is concerned, as far as the image was concerned. So that's a very good question. I'd rank that as a very, very good question. And I think what he's talking about is how with EOS, there's so much activity going on. I mean, if you're involved with EOS, you actually have a stake in the applications being built on EOS. And if you're involved with EOS, there's a play for you with what is being built. And really, like in the case of the challenge application, there's a play because we give you some challenge tokens, and there's even like what's going on right now with the coin that's being airdropped right now, the one that's using up all the network resources. It's being airdropped, it's being given to people for free. So the valuation of something like that is really something you can't put a number on, because we don't know. Like they say with that coin, they don't tell you what they're going to do with it, or where it's ever going to go, or how they're going to use it. So you're getting a valuation that you can't really put on Bitcoin. Of course, Ethereum has applications, so you can get something out of the Ethereum applications. But the network is so much more valuable because stuff is being built on it. So I think that valuation definitely has a lot more than Ethereum or Bitcoin, because transactions, because of what's being built on it. I talk about that a lot on my channel. Very good question. It's hard to put a figure on. Of course, I think the figure is pretty incredible. I think that's why I think there's opportunity here. Opportunity a lot of people don't realize and don't see. So that's a good question. The second one is, I think, one of the best questions I've ever had. And this one was from CTP, Black Bill number 2, I believe. And he asked me about a question. He asked me a question I think was very, very insightful, because he's paying attention to my videos. So if I don't put a video up, I usually put a TikTok video up. And he was asking me about TikTok. And I don't know if people have seen our TikTok videos, but we're making more and more TikTok videos. The TikTok is an application, and it's very, very popular. I think there's 500 million users right now on TikTok. They're all over the world, mainly in China. I think the app originates in China. And he asks me, why we're using, a little bit about the reason we're using it. And one of the things with what we do is a lot of these ideas are generated by my son. My son is a developer, blockchain developer. And of course, he stays up on this stuff, and he really stays current with all this stuff. He's a much more mathematically minded person than I am. I'm more of a front-end developer. I was a WordPress guy. He's more of the back-end database kind of guy, works on that end of it. So he found TikTok. He likes TikTok. He likes making these TikTok videos. So he's really up on this kind of stuff. It was his idea. He generates these, but we're really excited about TikTok, basically because TikTok gives us a lot more opportunity to bring in a lot more people into to tell people about challenge. Also, the fact that it's big in China. We need to put the message out in China a little bit more. And we don't like to divide between US and Chinese blockchain, the East, the West, all this other stuff we talk about in block producers and stuff. So these kind of applications will help get the message out. TikTok's a great application. One of the features with TikTok is it allows you to edit very well, allows you to add music, and there's a lot of features that Instagram and of course Twitter and some of the other don't have. I've never been much of a Facebook person or Instagram person or a Twitter person. I've always loved YouTube, and I'm hoping to put a little time into TikTok, so I get really, really good at that. So yeah, TikTok's a really good idea. I think people that want to start checking that out, there's been a lot of usage on TikTok, and I think that this will be a big feature in the future. And we will continue to make more and more TikTok videos because we think that, you know, they're easy, they're quick. I think they go for 30 seconds. You can do a lot of cool editing on them without, you know, going to, you know, spending a lot of time editing. It's all built in the application. So yeah, TikTok's a pretty cool idea. And I appreciate you listening and watching and seeing the little TikTok images down the bottom, because you noticed that. And that's why I think that was an intelligent question, because you're paying attention enough to see that that was a TikTok video. And of course, I got to thank my son for those, because he's the one that came up with the idea. And he's up on all blockchain stuff. I think he spends his whole day doing nothing but thinking about blockchain ideas. So he's a really good resource for us, really good idea person, and has always, you know, come up with some really, really good stuff. So that was generally his idea. Let me think if there's anything else I was going to talk about tonight. I thought I had another issue I want to talk about. Can't really think right off the top of my head what it was. But anyway, I always got tomorrow night to talk about something else. If you have any ideas, if you have any challenges, please let me know, because I'd like to hear what you got to say. Because I'd like to talk about some stuff that other people like to talk about. I don't always have everything that I want to talk about. Let's talk about what you want to talk about. So make me a challenge, and I'll be out here tomorrow night, and we'll make a video together. I appreciate you watching.